quick overview here. You know, only loses one guy on these bow warrior monks on Robert's side, and you know, he's pretty much only using his arrows on these Yarya Shigaro. So not doing too bad at all is Sony over here. And I'm going to fast forward again, see if we can get a better glimpse of what's going on with these Yari Cav as they are traveling very far back into the woods. And move back up over here too. We see this Yarya Shigaro right up in the thick of it, trying to suck up more of the arrows of Sony, which does not seem to be happening. He must have the auto target off. And here we go. We have a double team here trying to hit something. And we see some volleys go off. There goes some fire arrows hitting Boss Robert there, but he was able to run them away. Only one casualty there. Not too bad. And I think I'm going to leave this in the fast forward until some melee action does start to begin, as I think we've seen enough skirmishing here. But CW clearly in the lead, not by very much, but enough in terms of winning the skirmish battle. And it seems that Robert's only able to get shots off on these Yarya Shigaro units, which will not cut it in terms of winning the game, as they are not the biggest of investments. Alright, we see massive movement here by Zorganis, and he is pulling on this flank over here, probably trying to take advantage of this angle right here, as the lines are bent a bit, and hopefully he's probably thinking Robert can push in too, but it looks like Robert's also fleeing, and these two are separating themselves now, so that is not really the greatest of tactics at times. I think the goal there was to avoid the double team skirmish, which that does help, but the power is no longer centered. And if there's anything that Total War does help when it comes to fighting, it's morale and a centered army when you have these types of skirmish units, the lone swords and the matchlocks that we see so often. So we have Zorganis on this flank here, and it looks like Rip is going to adjust a bit to cover the same side. Robert's actually spreading himself out even more. It looks like now he's just moving his entire army, and it looks like just trying to find the right angle here to attack, and you see Rip adjusting to that. So while we don't see many volleys anymore, we just see a lot of adjustment in terms of trying to get a decent melee attack going here. But CW is handling it very nicely. You know, they're moving back together as a concise unit here, and you see the MBH now they're doing the whole crescent shape, trying to get a nice surround on all the units here. And with all this movement, something's bound to be out of place. So I think that's what Zorganis is trying to take advantage of here with these not a monk cavalry and Yari cavalry here, as this movement's bound to do something. And it looks like melee is about to start here. Here we go, and we have some volleys going off from these Matchlock warrior monks, and they have the trifecta here. They have the Inspire, Rapid Fire, and Rally going, and they are going to be firing extremely fast and probably tearing up anything that gets in their way. Right now it is only these Yarya Shigaro, and it's the same thing on this side here. You know, here's the main lone sword rush of Robert, and he has this other little group on the side here, not doing much of anything yet. Here we go, and here comes the lone sword rush. This one, it looks like an act of desperation, really, as these guns are going to tear up anything that comes in the way. And here comes the counter rush with Rip sending his lone swords in, and same thing with Sony. So here's the main line of battle here. We see some fleeing with these Yarya Shigaro, not a big deal yet, as they are not the ones doing the main killing force here. We see Zorganis, a lot of blinking on his side, but the white does cover that up a bit. It's actually hard to notice. So Zorganis blinking a bit, Robert also blinking a bit. Rip, a couple guys are blinking, but those actually got right up close in front of the matchlocks, which is not bad. We see some cavalry movement over here, trying to mess with this other force. Not too much happening though, but a lot of shots getting off by Sony's matchlock unit on that side. We see more cavalry usage right here, trying to mess up these lone swords, or these matchlocks, and it looks like they're going to hit him. He hasn't aimed for him yet, and he does. So these lone swords are flanked here, and so is these matchlock warrior monks, and then we see these Yari come in, and they should probably do a lot of work against the rest of that cavalry here. So this is looking actually pretty even, as CW has a lot of guys bunched together, but they do own the power bar right now. But Boss Robert did lose the majority of his guys here, but he still has a lot over here still. But Sony has this huge mass of guys over here holding the fort down. Rip over on this side right now has a lot of blinking, but he's still holding in there, as he also has Sony coming in to help on the side, trying to get these matchlocks out of the way, trying to do some sort of damage. But the armies that are split up here on MVH is not helping at all. As you see right here, Sony's able to rush right in, and Robert's right in behind here. He has to play catch up. So these guys will be able to, CW will be able to double team for the most part. Zarganis. And here we go, these lone swords trying to get there. They have stopped instead of hitting these matchlock Shigaru. There they go, they're trying to get there, and I think they latched on, and there goes the morale of these matchlock units. And a little bit too late on that Yari Ashigaru for protection. So it looks like Zarganis is now out of the game, except for this lone sword right here. And I would not be surprised to see this lone sword be out of contention really soon. He did get that single volley off, messing up that bodyguard here, but this should be the end of Zarganis' matchlock unit here. So I'm going to stop focusing here, going back over here where Boss Robert is, and we see a whole other front here where Sony is pushing on up. But I do not see this lasting much longer either, as there's only a few lone sword and Yari Ashigaru here, and a lot of lone swords for Sony's side, and Robert's pretty much getting shot up, as all he has are these bow warrior monks just aiming at these matchlock warrior monks. Not going to do much damage, especially with the stand-in fights going on and the majority of units here. So this one's absolutely going to CW. There is no way around that. I'm going to finish this one up with a fast forward right here, and you see the morale just go of Boss Robert. So that is match here. This was the first round, goes to CW.